You no longer need to hide the pain like weakness. It is not enemy, it is called a silent reminder that you survived things that many people couldn't stand for a day. The truth is that behind every tear, every fall, every night asleep, there is a force waiting to be awakened. You may be tired of fighting alone, to look strong when everything inside screams for help. But what if I told you that it is exactly there, at this point of almost withdrawal, that the most powerful rebirths are born? In this video, you will understand how to use pain as your biggest fuel, not to take revenge, but to build. Not to prove something to others, but to fulfill what was born to be. Looking in the mirror is easy, it is hard to face what is behind the reflection, its flaws, fears, trauma and excuses. But it is there, in that silent confrontation, that the awakening begins. Ask yourself, is that all you have? It is not provocation, it is an invitation. Invitation to the courage not to accept a small version of who you are. Challenging yourself requires brutal honesty. It is admitting that, yes, you are tired, but you are still standing. It is to realize that despite the losses, there is a purpose pulsating inside, waiting for attitude. So instead of escaping your own image, stay. Face it. Talk to her. This is how mental conditioning begins to change from vitamism to reinvention. You have already been broken, betrayed, abandoned. He already cried in silence as he pretended that everything was fine. That didn't make you weak, he led you. Each scar tells a story that only those who survived can understand. And if you're still here, breathing, it's a sign that the fight is not over yet. And you still have emotional ammunition stored. Recognizing pain is a sign of maturity. Pretend it does not just exist, the growth. Continue, even when each step hurts. Continue, even if no one sees or recognizes. You don't have to prove anything to anyone, just fulfill your mission. The pain did not come to stop you, came to prepare you to come after rebirth, purpose, and transformation. Do not expect conditions to improve, the mood come back or the pain pass, because maybe none of this happens anytime soon. What you have now is the moment. Yes, with tears in the eyes, accumulated tiredness and open wounds. But also with an inner force that reveals itself precisely on the days when continuing seems impossible. The truth is that giving up would be easy and for that reason, common. But you were not called to live the ordinary. Life tested you, pressed you, broke you but couldn't stop you. So now it's the time. Time to turn each drop of pain into emotional fuel. Time to prove, not for others, but for yourself, that continuing is not an option. It's an instinct. Pain is not the end of the line, it is the stage where the transformation happens. This is where your old version dies and gives you room for something stronger, more conscious, more aligned with your purpose. All rebirth requires a type of death, and sometimes pain is the uterus where its new identity is being formed. Do not escape the process, embrace metamorphosis. When everything seems to crumble, it is a sign that the ancient foundation no longer supported who you are becoming. The pain can be suffocating, yes, but it is also sacred. In it, you not only survive, you resurrect. Reinvention does not happen in comfort, but in the emotional intensity of the internal struggle. Each tear can be a brick in the construction of its new greatness. Being left behind, it hurts, especially when it was for whom you trusted the most. Abandonment has the power to darken to the brightest soul. But here is the truth that no one told you: the oblivion of others can be the trigger of your rebirth. Sometimes you need to be erased from the memory of others to remember yourself. You don't need them to look for you. You need to get up. It doesn't matter if everyone has dropped you on the roadside, you can still build a path with your own hands. The legacy you are creating does not depend on applause or witnesses. Overcoming is silent, but shouts in each new achievement. Who has discarded you will hear not your revenge, but your greatness. It's not just people who test you, it's life itself. She plays challenges that look bigger than you, just to prove they are not. You wake up and are already in the ring, bills to pay, pain to cure, internal pressures that no one sees. The struggle is constant, but it molds you, which sculpts your resistance. Each day expired is an invisible medal in the chest. Life does not take light with those who have a call. If you feel you are always being tested, maybe it's because there is something big inside you. The pressure is not to crush you, it is to reveal your essence. Spirituality is not escape, it is strength in the midst of chaos. The secret is not to avoid war, it is to become someone that war cannot destroy. This is for you who wakes up every day carrying an invisible burden. For those who have lost someone, lost everything, or feel that they are losing yourself. You are not weak for feeling you are human. And precisely for this reason, it has a force that machines do not have. You can rebuild with soul, with purpose, with faith. You, who were rejected, discredited, ignored. It's still here. And being here is already proof of victory. Maybe the world doesn't understand your fight, but the pain you feel is not in vain. There is a call within this suffering. There is a legacy being formed in the silence of your room. Continue. Because even those who bleed can heal, including themselves. The pain you feel now is uncomfortable, yes, but it is also a sign you are still alive. And as long as there is life, there is a possibility of change, reconstruction, of purpose. The real danger is not to feel too much, it is not feeling anything. This is when you anesthesia and lose your connection with your own humanity. Feeling is the privilege of those still on the battlefield. Crying, frustrating, being disappointed, all this is part of those who care, who still believes. Do not run away from pain. Use it as a reminder that the heart still beats, the soul still screams, and the call still pulsates. Pain is not defeat, it is presence. And presence is power. You can use pain as a wall or as a bridge. You can hide behind her, or let her push you forward. Complain, blame, regret, all this seems justifiable. But none of this transforms. When you decide to turn pain into action, even the falls gain value. Each tear becomes emotional fuel of high octane. Most will use the pain to stop. You don't. You will use it to go up. To train with more focus, study more thirsty, work with more soul. Do not expect external motivation, it fails. Use what you feel now. Take this anguish, this tightening in your chest, and turn it into discipline. Pain is no excuse, it is push. It is impulse for greatness. The pain trains you in a way that comfort would never get. It conditions your mind, strengthens your spirit, and shapes your character. Each disappointment you surpassed was a class. Each fall that didn't kill you made you more ready. The pain is the forge where resilience is built, and those who support the heat of the process is being prepared to carry a legacy. It is not punishment. It is preparation. While you see loss, life sees cut. Is it heavy? Is it hard? Excellent. It means it is getting stronger. You are not being punished, you are being equipped. Great missions require large soldiers. And soldiers are not formed in peacetime, but in the battlefield of the soul. pain has the power to take you on your knees not in defeat, but in prayer. It is in the darker days that faith is no longer theory and becomes livelihood. When everything fails, when no one understands, it is the spirituality that raises you. Pain does not steal faith, it purifies. It makes you pray true, love in depth and move away from the bitterness. Who has never suffered still loves superficially. But anyone who has already felt the soul tear learns to value what matters. Learn to love without haste, with presence. Maturity is born when you realize that you no longer need to overcome debates, but to overcome yourself. And pain is one of the greatest masters on this journey of self-knowledge and evolution. A musician touches the pain in the strings of the instrument. A writer turns her into words. A warrior turns her into action. You can do the same, transform suffering into creation. You don't have to be an artist for that. You just need courage not to keep everything inside. The pain wants to leave. And when it comes out, it becomes a message, it becomes a healing, turns to others. Pain need not be buried, it needs to be expressed. Speak, write, draw, sing, dance, pray. But don't shut up. Its history has power. Your scar can be a lighthouse for someone lost in the same darkness. Art is not only beauty, it is also resistance. And when it is born of pain, it carries an emotional intensity capable of playing souls, including yours. Feeling pain does not weaken you, you humanize. Just feels who is alive, present, in motion. If you still feel, it is because there is still something to do, something to deliver. Pain is not a sign of weakness. It is a sign that you are still fighting. Paralysis is giving up. Strength is to continue even shaking inside. Do not accept the myth that the fort does not suffer. The true strong feels everything, but it's still. You may have your chest in pieces, but if you still step a day, you are already more resilient than you think. The pain didn't come to stop you. He came to remind you that there is greatness in those who decide to follow, even injured. It may seem strange, but one day you will look back and thank the pain that visited you. Because it was she who took you out of the place. It was she who made you grow, mature, wake up. Every difficulty prepared you for something bigger. And the more you resisted, the stronger you became. The pain didn't paralyze you, he raised you. So the next time life weighs, does not curse the burden, recognize the strength it is gaining when carrying it. The weights of the soul are like those of the gym. The more you train, the more you can. The difference is that here growth is internal. Invisible but real. Pain is not enemy. It is an instructor. It is part of the plan. The way you see pain changes everything. When you start seeing it as a tool, not as a sentence, something inside you break free. The pain is no longer a burden and becomes a bridge. The question changes: why is this happening to me? What is this trying to teach me? And that's where the transformation begins. Every profound change comes from a break. Real growth requires discomfort, requires friction. The caterpillar does not become a butterfly in the comfort of the branch, it dissolves inside before flying. And with you is no different. The pain is rebuilding you inside. You can resist, or allow it to take you to your best version. No one escapes pain, it is part of the package of existence. But what differentiates those who sink from those who grow up is the choice. You don't control what happens to you, but you control what you do with it. It can cry, yes. It may suffer, scream, fall. But in the end, Are you the one who decides, continues, or surrenders? Some turn the pain into shield, others into a sword. Some paralyze, others build. What will be your choice? You have the right to suffer, but you also have the power to reinvent yourself. The pain can mark you or shape you. You can hurt you or form you. And this decision, no matter how hard, is in your hands. Pain can thirst for revenge, and for a moment it seems fair. But the truth is that it takes revenge is like drinking poison, waiting for the other to feel. Do not waste your energy trying to take the change. Direct all this to grow, build, become someone so strong that pain no longer defines you, propels you. The biggest answer you can give to you is to become someone you inspire. Which gets up, that shines, that follows in peace. Revenge imprisons, the greatness releases. It's not about forgetting what you did, it's about not letting you keep you from fulfilling what was born to be. Its greatness is the greatest I have one that exists. There comes a time when you understand to truly grow it is to want the good even of those who hurt you. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Carrying hurt is like walking with stones in your pockets while trying to swim. Release is not weakness, it is liberation. You don't need them to lose. You need to keep winning. Wishing that even those who wounded you win is a sign of high humanity. It is choosing greatness instead of bitterness. It is not about being passive, but not allowing pain to transform you into something you never wanted to be. Its purpose is greater than any rematch. And your victory will be sweeter when it doesn't depend on anyone's fall. Hate is a trap disguised as strength. He screams loudly, but consumes inside. The pain you feel can take you this way, or it can become a boost to create something bigger. You decide whether to feed grudge or feed your transformation. Paying evil with greatness is not weakness, it is a strategy of those who think in the long run. Use pain as wood, not as current. Burn it inside you to warm your dreams, not to fire others. Channel everything that hurt in action, vision, and construction. The pain was real. The blow was hard. But your answer may be monumental. When you choose to grow instead of hating, you get out of the cycle and go up to a new level. You will come back, but not to play in anyone's face. It will come back to show that it is possible to win without stepping. That you can climb without pushing anyone down. The real victory is not in revenge, but in raising who is still fallen. You didn't come back to prove anything. It came back because it has a larger call. When pain really transforms you, it erases the desire to humiliate and lights the desire to serve. Whoever knocked you down will see you standing, and you will extend your hand. Because real greatness is measuring the way you treat those who didn't know how to treat you well. And this gesture, more than any discourse, is what builds an eternal legacy. The pain only seems meaningless when you have not yet understood the purpose behind it. But gradually it begins to make sense. Every fall, every no, every abandonment, all of this was pushing you to a place where your mission would finally make sense. The suffering was not for nothing. He was aligning you with what you came to do here. It's time to stop running from pain and start talking to it. Ask, what are you trying to show me? You will realize that there is no more distance between what you felt and what you should do. Your mission lives in this abyss. Face the front pain and you will find a map of your purpose, of course, painful but revealing. There are days when what moves you is not motivation. It's pain. And that's fine. Train with pain. Work with pain. Dance, sing, write with pain. Do it for those who believed you when no one else believed. Do it for yourself, who you are becoming. Do it for God, who saw his tears when no one else saw. The pain may be the memory of what you have lost or the reminder of what you still need to achieve. Let her push you. You don't have to wait for you to feel ready. Ready you will never be. But determined? This is already. Do not bury your pain, move with her. Because deep down it is this intensity that will take you further than any applause. You think it has reached the limit, but it didn't arrive. Because the true limit is not when the body tires, that's when the soul gives up. And yours is still screaming for more. By justice, by sense, by realization. There is more inside you than you can see yourself. You are not empty, you are in transition. When everything seems exhausted, it is because you are about to access a new level of strength. It is at this point of darkness that many stop, but it is also where the chosen ones continue. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes. And go once more. Because the tank that seems dry still holds emotional drops that can move mountains. Every way to the reward goes through difficult land. There is no true victory without any sacrifice. The pain you feel now is not a sign that you are on the wrong way, it is a sign that you are closer than you think. The tighter it gets, the closer you are from the turn. Hold firm. The harvest requires resistance. No one builds legacy without crossing storms. And the reward is not only what expects you in the end, it is also who you become along the way. Each step with pain is worth 3 with comfort. Each tear shed water the soil where their victory will be planted. Continue. Because suffering is only the foreshadowing of birth. If you still feel, you are still alive. And as long as there is life, there is hope, there is promise, there is mission. Pain is not the end point, it is a comma. A reminder that the chapter is not over. It may seem like the end, but it's just the beginning of a new phase. If it still hurts, it still pulsates. If there is still a call, the promise is closer than you think. You just need to take another step. It's not time to retreat, it's time to persist. The pain is not killing you, it is shaping you. You have not arrived here by chance. And if it has come here, it goes until the end. Because who can handle the pain reaches the promise. Now tell me, what are you going to do with this pain? Will you let her paralyze you, or will you use it as a driving force for your transformation? Life doesn't relieve it, I know. But she rewards who insists. It is in your hands to decide if the pain will bury you or resurrect you. You already loaded so much, overcame more than it seems. And maybe you don't even realize how stronger it is now. But the real change happens when you choose to act. Then tell me, what will be your next step? What attitude can you take today to use this pain to your advantage? If this content has touched you in any way, if you helped you see yourself more clearly, subscribe to the channel and enable notifications. Here, we don't hide the pain, we transform it into strength.